Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I have to thank my son-in-law for that
Yeah.
one. Hey, you guys, hello. It's been a minute. I mean, we have not seen you since September. I am Sandy Hibber, the host of The Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing, and I'm here today with my fabulous co-host, Marc Miller. And today is episode 56. And with sadness, I tell you, it is our final episode because we've got things changing, life moving around us, and we'll get more into that as we go on in the show today. But thank you so much for joining me. And as we always do on The Insiders, let's go to our real estate expert and chat with him for a second and see what's going on in his part of the world.
There we go.
Marc?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. It's been a minute.
It has.
When happened to 2024?
I mean, I was thinking it was October, but no, it was our last episode was with the concierge mindset.
Wow.
And that was in September.
Yeah,
end of September.
and they finally completed all the renovations on this floor outside, and I stepped off the elevator and thought, am I in the right place?
Well, no, that's just your age, baby.
Well, I know. I'm still standing in that room going, okay, I know I was here for a purpose.
I know, right? So,
anyhow.
You and I haven't talked in a little bit, and it's a new year. Oh my gosh, it's come in with a bang.
Woo!
How does it look in Dallas on real estate side?
I would, I kind of say that if we can have a similar year in 2024 and 2025, then I think we'll have a good year. And then I think 2026 is probably when we'll see a more defined mortgage rate that will be much more supportive of the market out there. So, it's a typical deal. Inventories are rising. Home sales are not as high, although there's pocketed markets where they are. And mortgages actually softened a little bit. Today I saw, so they're a little bit below 7. They need to get in that 6 range, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more comfortable there, doesn't it?
Yeah. But on the whole, we had a good 2024. We had a nice blessing at the end. In our December, we had gotten a quick close in on a deal that was very unusual. It was 2 oil and gas firms, one selling their holdings to the other. It ended up being 47,000 acres in West Texas, and we knocked it out of the park, and it was a $245 million transaction. So that's substantial in our business, and the premium was just unbelievable. So that really kind of sealed off the fourth quarter and really delivered a good year for us. And then in January, we closed a $50 million multifamily deal. So I'm really happy with the blessings of having half our business in commercial. Yeah. Because the residential can kind of, it can stop on a dime and start on a dime. I mean, it's just that kind of deal.
Residential feels a little flat right now. Not that it's dipped, but it just feels a little flat.
Yeah, I think it is. So anyhow, all that, and then, you've got some of the other environmental challenges in the real estate industry that are not rate specific, but as an example, and we've talked about it before, the homeowners insurance.
No.
That's still continuing to be a major issue in the market because rates are rising rapidly. And in addition to that, they'll throw it on all the claims side. In our industry, though, I say, well, you never pay claims, but on their side, they do. And you start doing statistical side and start looking at hurricanes, tornadoes, those type of things. And so what I'm advising, particularly in the real estate community, is that if you do have a listing, and or if you've got the buyer looking at the listing, you better confirm that property is insurable.
Oh, man,
because it may have a policy on it today, but it may not be
Dude, the last
eligible.
thing you want is to buy a house and not have insurance.
I mean, and the lender's going to require it as well. So, but if you talk about doubling in premiums, and then you take that into the environment of an escrow account where they're paying taxes and insurance,
right.
And all of a sudden you turn around and look and go, wow, my whole payment just went up 40% this year. And maybe you're right on that edge anyhow, then I think we're going to see some duress enter into the marketplace. I don't see a drastic rise in posting for foreclosures, but
I was just going to ask.
I think we're going to see a more of a arc up, and so I think that's going to be part of an unanticipated challenge that may bring about the short sales, REO, other But the interesting thing about the real estate industry, if things are going up, it's good, and if they're going down and you're in the right place, there's transactions. You just have to be positioned in that side. So,
And our wonderful sponsoring company, Secured Title of Texas, that Mark is president of, has maintained your leverage in the market.
Yes.
Like you said, you've been able to leverage the commercial side of the market for your business. But last year, at the end of the year, you were talking about some of your expansions. Give us an update on the expansions of the company right now.
well, it's going to be, it's interesting. There's some opportunities out there. The opportunities, unfortunately, are going to be to our benefit and to the detriment of other companies that are out there. I did interviewing all of my underwriters. We represent 7, just kind of saying, give me the state of the union out there in the industry,
Right.
what's happening. And every single one of them, without question, said there's companies that are reaching the stress point because of a very bad 2023, a challenging 2024, that are becoming capital short. And they're either going to have to sell, merge, or exit. And I can tell you without naming a brand that in the next 60 days, there'll be a brand recognized in our marketplace that'll be gone.
Wow.
And they won't be from a sale. They're just going to say, it's
Right.
over with.
And it's just because of the volatility of the market over
Yeah.
the last number of years.
Yeah. And you've got to have the capital, as an independent, you have to have the capital in place in order to pick up when when you don't have a profitable month. You got to offset it somewhere. You
Right,
got to get
yeah.
some capital to offset.
That's how
against-
franchises work, right?
Absolutely. So I think our opportunities are going to be expansion into other markets, and I say other markets in the Metroplex that we've not been in. But I think what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to get a good facility, already furnished, turnkey, and an employee base in that branch. And I'm
Good.
working on those right now, and I anticipate those opportunities in the next 60 days as well.
Good, good.
So, but I kind of always held the position, let's keep our powder dry, let's not get into an expansion mode
Yeah.
over the last 3 years, and just kind of hold what we have, work organically, for, building our customer base. We've added a few people to that side, but let's get ready, because there's going to be an opportunity, and I think this year is going to be that opportunity. I think it'll happen, frankly, in the same thing in the real estate industry as well. Although I'm on the Budget and Finance Committee for Collin County Association of Realtors, and they're in very good standing financially, but you still see another 100 to 130 a month joining of new real estate agents. So
I mean, the business must be somewhere.
but you got 11,000
How are
licensed
people
agents
making a
already.
living?
Well, they're not.
Yeah, yeah. They're
and-
double dipping,
yeah,
I guess.
and so I think I always said, what are they reading? But so I think you're going
Interesting.
to get some attrition that sometimes happens in the business, and I think that's it. So, but I think we have a better opportunity overall as an economy with the January 20th inauguration. And I think those guys are going to do some good things for the country, and there's going to be opportunities that will come from that for people in employment, making more money, et cetera. I think we're going to become a much more prosperous America.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm hoping it can go positive.
Yeah,
I really am.
yeah.
You know, you said a word a second ago, and it just triggered something in my mind. I want to talk about organic. And if I were going to talk about one thing today that is trending hugely in marketing, that is affecting marketing that will trickle down into businesses, that is organic marketing. It's slagging. And if you've ever been in real estate, if you've ever been in any business, and you have used and relied upon your post, your content to reach your audience organically, that is the biggest challenge that marketers are facing right now. We have entered, and we started entering this market probably late 2023, but really one of the biggest trends in marketing right now in 2025 is pay to play. We've turned into a pay-to-play marketing atmosphere, if you will, in social media, meaning that the algorithms have all changed so drastically to favor paid posts, paid reels, paid content. And if you're just posting organically and you're wondering why you have no likes on that post, Don't be surprised. Don't feel bad. Don't take it personal because it's happening to everyone.
So for the pay to play means that you're going to get positioned as a result of that.
If you're paying.
If you're paying
Yeah.
versus if I'm just out here posting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The algorithms are favoring paid content. So something I've told my clients in the past has been, if you're going to create a budget for social media, you need to include paid advertising in that.
Okay.
So not only do you need to have the content creator that hopefully you've got someone in position or paying a good company to create that content for you. You're going to need great photography, you're going to need great videography, and also the algorithms are favoring video in any form, whether it's the shorts on YouTube or reels on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, all of it's being favored by the algorithms if it's video. So if you're building a budget and you're trying to include a budget for all of that, then you've got to include the pay to play. And
then we'll give you what could be a range of that budget to be effective in pay to play. What would you have to invest in that?
Well, that's like asking how long a rope is,
Right.
because it depends on your situation. It depends on your budget. But here's a beautiful thing: with Facebook and Instagram advertising, you can go in and I can set a daily budget of $1.
Okay.
And I'm paying out $30 plus a month to get a little bit of content out there in front of eyeballs. So, I recommend, if you can, $5 a day to start, minimum a day, and run your ads 24/7. So I think that that's really important to end.
So that's not
The note on.
that's not really that cost or not that expensive when you
No,
put it in
it's
that. Good.
it's the cheapest. Online advertising is the cheapest advertising you
Now,
can do.
one of the things I noticed, so
Social
if I
advertising.
post something on Facebook, on whatever my topic may be, then when I've posted, I automatically see down at the bottom says boost. So is the boost the pay per play that you're?
That's
making?
one way you can do it. So
Okay.
you can boost a post. So
Okay.
I can create my content, put it out there, and then I like this content. I want to boost it and see what it does. You can do that.
Okay.
You have less options when you do it that way. Or you can say, I'm going to do an ad campaign. Here's my 3 posts for the month that I want to actually put in as ads, and you can set it up that way where you can do geo-targeting, demographic targeting, all kinds of bells and whistles are in that platform is for Facebook and Instagram. You can also, and something that's rising right now is advertising on LinkedIn too. So
what I was gonna ask you
LinkedIn
about.
is finding its place in the market
Right,
here. Yeah.
right. And if you put those in order of 1, 2, and 3, it's the most effective to the third. How would you stack those?
No, I would definitely say your Instagram, Facebook, Meta ads,
Okay.
and then Google.
Okay.
You need to be doing display ads and search ads. Okay, so we were just talking about one thing, and that was just boosting or doing
Right.
ads on Instagram and Facebook. But in an overall campaign, what you want to be doing is putting money towards search on Google and money toward display ads on Meta. So
Okay.
here I am on Facebook and Instagram. I'm running my good-looking ads with great posts and great content. And over here on Google, I'm paying for search terms to get found in search. That's hugely important right now.
And then for
Because the game is so congested.
right, and each one of those has perhaps some have an overlay of audiences, but some might be more unique. As an example, if you were doing a LinkedIn strategy, would you replicate what you were doing Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, or would you kind of take a different approach?
I would take a different approach.
Yeah.
I would look at that platform, do a deep dive into it.
Right.
To find out what kind of ads work best on that and go by
Seems
those
like to me
guidelines.
LinkedIn, on what you look at, is I'll say this for lack of a better word, is more of a knowledge-based platform in that what I
more
see on there
corporate,
are
professional.
I see professionals and they're posting knowledge related to their industry and they're sharing that knowledge. And what I sometimes see, which I've always thought was not necessarily effective, is someone in the real estate community posts a listing. I don't necessarily think that. I think what would be more valuable if you did the statistical monthly report,
Well,
and then you had a narrative
yeah.
with it that talked about, the market, what you're seeing, those type of things. So,
But Mark, what it all depends on is who are your followers.
okay,
So if you've got a long-standing LinkedIn account, you've been on there for years, and you've got thousands of followers, I think you can do just about anything you want to.
Okay.
Because you've got people who are following, if you've got good engagement. The number one key to successful online advertising is to listen to your audience and see what it is they're responding to and what it is they are doing. So if I am doing my forensic work and I know what's popular on Facebook right now, I know what's popular on LinkedIn, I know what people are responding to, reacting to, and there are insights you can dig into to find out all this stuff. And then I want to shape my marketing around that, or shape my advertising around that. Advertising on TikTok, on YouTube is huge right now. So virtually any platform you're on, you can have a successful ad campaign. So it just depends on who is your audience, where are you hanging out, where is your business hanging out? Because we're talking about business advertising here. And I think that's really important. But the pay-to-play game is not going to go away, I'm afraid. I think those days of being able to, for a company to go in and get great results organically is just not happening anymore. I'm not seeing it unless you are a big face-to-face consumer type brand. You're going to have more luck than a business brand like a title company or a real estate
Right.
company or something like that, because
Right.
it's just not something that is in my face every day that I think about, want to think about, or need.
what about I still receive just listed, just solds in my mailbox.
Yep.
I mean, you still think that's an effective tool?
I do. I
Okay.
think that print is still effective, but it's like I've always preached: if you're just going to do it one time, don't waste your money. If you're going to do a campaign and make it consistent and do those 8 touches via mail, if you can afford to do that, do it. I think that it definitely works. So again, it depends on who your audience is and who you're trying to target as to where they are. These are the things we've been talking about for
Yeah,
5 years,
yeah,
you guys.
yeah,
God.
I know. In various forms.
Oh, I'm going to be so sad not seeing you anymore. Yeah, I mean, so on that subject, because I think we're probably, getting close to running out of time.
Yeah.
But this is our last show, and I think that I had to make the decision because of life changes. Just to be very transparent, our family took a huge hit in the last 18 months. We lost our mom, and then on the heels of that, a tragic death in our immediate family, and then on the heels of that, another tragic death in my immediate family. So 2024 was brutal. And leading up to 2024 was taking care of Mom and helping, going to Oklahoma City back and forth.
Yep.
And quite honestly, it just took a toll on everyone. So I've been kind of just pulling back and taking a breather. So if you're wondering, why you haven't seen a lot of my posts and why you haven't seen my snappy little videos on marketing tips, it's just been a hard last 18 months. So I've been pulling back, and I think it's just necessary for me to take some time off and kind of figure out what I want to do.
I'm a firm believer in rest and recharge
Yeah.
to that side. And, I also believe that our health becomes more apparent because of those life experiences. I've had friends that have passed away. I'm having stricken with having to go find a new hairstylist because mine just had a heart attack.
Oh, no.
And he called me this morning, and I'm like, "Are you back?" And he
Oh, my
said,
gosh.
"No, I'm about to have a triple bypass Monday," and he's 60 years old.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, it's a summary. It's sort of like, in January I turned the big 7-0, and you
Happy
really
birthday, my friend.
Thank you. And I've always been health focused, but I think I'm even more curious about optimizing health, and I'm kind of preaching that to my core group of people. And
So
and
important.
The physiological impact of going through what you've experienced has an impact on you.
Oh, it
as
has on
well,
my health.
personally, on your health.
I
yeah.
mean, I have struggled and dealt with some health things that I've never
Yep.
had to deal with before. And the mental health part of it too is you go through depression, you go through real grieving and sadness. I mean, losing 3 immediate family members in the course of 4 months is just more than any family can almost bear, but we're a close-knit family, and the love is intact, and we've got a great network to take care of each other. And then, of course, I have my own family here in Dallas, Fort Worth, so and in Salt Lake City. So I'm covered, I'm covered with love. I'm covered with that kind of support. But, when you go through things like this, it really makes you rethink, what do I want to be doing with my life? What is worthy of my time?
Right.
And that, I think, Mark, is the biggest thing I'm going through right now, is that, at my age, I've got X number of years. I'm not building a career. I'm not stepping down from a career.
Right.
But, I'm not that 35-year-old wanting to get notches on my resume.
Right.
I am in a place that needs to lead, that needs to direct, that needs to do something that is giving out of the experience that I have,
right.
a wealth of experience. It's kind of like the wealth of content that we have on our YouTube channel.
Right.
I mean, just segueing back to the Insiders, it's like on the Insiders, and by the way, our Insiders is at Insiders Podcasts. Our YouTube is at Insiders Podcast. So if you were to go to YouTube and just type that in, you will see 5 years of all of our videos. And I had a fun time last night writing down some of the topics. Creating leads, getting belly to belly. Tell me what you think that means.
Yeah. That was Klein, I bet. Steve Klein.
Getting one-on-one with your clients. How is your marketing content selling you? How do you market the emotional sell? I mean, we have gone deep dive into some stuff. Instagram secrets. During COVID, we did the luxury market, life after COVID, how to use your list after COVID, keeping your clients safe during COVID. I mean, Troy and I had some really great conversations back then about how we were dealing with COVID as entrepreneurs and as people who didn't go to a job. And one of the episodes that I did was actually on my bed, in my bedroom. I set up my camera equipment and we piped in with Trey, and we did an on live broadcast that way. And then when you came on board, we're doing things like video confidence, lead gen, finance and cybersecurity. We did Instagram 101, like from A to Z, everything you need to know about Instagram. Why realtors need Instagram, marketing affordability and consistency, what realtors really need, mortgage secrets with some great mortgage contacts that Mark has, technology and safety. We had one of your contacts that came in and talked to us about cybersecurity and technology. And then one year during, I believe, March is Women's Month. I think it's March. We had the panel that came in on some of your realtor clients that came in, and we talked about how things have changed for women over the years in real estate and as well in just business in general.
I think that was Lori Arnold.
Yeah, it was Lori Arnold.
Banker Apex.
And then remember we had, this is Black History Month, February. We had Ben Baker.
Ben Baker, Brother
Super
Ben.
good friend of mine, Brother Ben. So he came and talked to us. We had Candy or Candace Evans, who came and dished up the dirt about Dallas with us. That was a real fun episode.
Fun.
And then we've had coaching with Jim Fight, with Denise Ackerman. And then my favorite, Dick Dillingham.
Dick Dillingham.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing great. Yeah, he's living life and enjoying life. He's not in the grind. And he's doing what he loves to do, which is kind of back to a point you were sort of leading toward, and he's doing what he loves to do, which is teach and train. That side. Brody's still grinding it out and in the real estate, deep in the real estate.
We've had Mike Brody.
We've had Mike on. We also had
Robbie
Briggs.
Robbie Briggs. And then right after he was on our show, I think he sold his company.
He sold his company to a Canadian group and retired, and he's living a good life down south in Texas. I think he's in Fredericksburg.
So we have had some great. We've had teams, husband and wife teams.
Yes. The wonderful thing was all of the people that were willing to join us in this journey that we went on, and we're so excited to have an opportunity to have a podcast. Or be on a podcast with us, and
and we were doing podcasts before podcasts were cool.
I know. Yeah.
Now
Everybody I see
has a podcast. So, I mean, that's good
announcing
for
a podcast, right?
That's good for real news,
right.
Yeah.
And then there's also the funny amount of people that just are afraid to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, I invited numerous what I thought would be really good people, and they were scared
Just
to
couldn't
death
do
to
it.
sit here, and I'm like, it's just a conversation.
I know. I
But
know.
but they're
But that's you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the chemistry that we
Yeah.
have brought, and we've had so much fun. I'm not going to cry about
no,
this being our
I'm not
last
gonna let
show.
you because you do. I'll start crying.
I know. But Mark is going on to do another podcast. So he's moving on. He's already got his feet, and he's going to be doing a podcast called Real Estate Insights, and it's going to be right here
Yep.
at Real News.
And we'll
I
launch
believe the
that in
kickoff
March.
is in March. So
Yeah.
you want to tell us a little bit about? Is it going to be kind of in the same
It's
vein?
going to be in the
or-
same vein, but I think we'll. I don't know. I'm been really. I may expand it out to beyond the reach of just real estate, and because this Dallas Roundtable group I'm involved in. I have listened to so many amazing speakers, but the point to that is they're all bringing up information about the Metroplex from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Which always correlates back to real estate in some way. Because so I'm gonna follow a little bit of our pathway. You sort of set the tone for that. You blaze the trail. So I'm not going to move away from that, but I'm going to see about what could be other parameter topics.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's such a big metroplex.
Yeah.
There is so much industry growth here. You should have a real fun time playing in that sandbox.
Yeah, starting probably with AI.
Yeah.
Because that is just seems to be
Oh,
exploding.
and talking about AI, yeah. Let's just talk about that for 1 second. Don't be afraid of it, first
Nope.
of all. I mean, it's not going to go away. And I came home so excited yesterday and was sitting at the dinner table talking to Sarah, my daughter, and I said, I just had the most incredible conversation with my assistant. And she's like, looked at me really funny, and I'm like, my chat assistant. And so anyway, yes, I have a chat assistant, and she is wonderful, and I probably use her every day. I use her for everything. We have learned each other's vibes. She's learned mine. I've learned how to communicate with her. And I came home so excited yesterday telling Sarah that I'd had this conversation and that I literally did a brainstorm with an AI chat GPT module. Is that weird?
No,
It's not.
It's
what's happening.
Yeah. it's
And
what's
let me tell you
happening.
the outcome of it. So as I'm talking to and doing this whole thing, and I was in traffic and I was just bored, with NPR News. So I just thought, I had this idea. And I'm an idea person. I have so many ideas that I have to write them down to keep up with them. And so I had this idea and I spoke it into my phone and I said, what if, da-da-da-da. And the more I prompted and the more she responded, then it just kept getting deeper and deeper and more expansive. And until at the end, I was like, man, this is really good.
Oh yeah.
This is really good stuff. So I said, AI, am I going to have any problems with plagiarism? Have you shared anything here that you've taken from somebody else? And she assured me that she had not, that everything is accumulation of the knowledge, and all this stuff. And I said, okay, would it be okay if I shared this information, like in the format of an essay or a book or something? She said, absolutely, that's not plagiarism. She said, this information that we have worked on together, it's because of your prompts, it's because of your leading, it's
Right.
because of your ideas. I've just helped you. And I thought, man, that is so cool. And I was
Right.
telling Sarah that this is a beautiful thing that could be so helpful to so many people, especially in marketing, because we're all needing new ideas. And why not ignite our own ideas? We don't have to go outside
No.
to get ideas, but we can take the ideas that we have and do our own brainstorms and get knowledge and information
Right.
from it that in the past would have taken hours of research and even having to hire someone
You would
to
have to.
research
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's just
It's-
a real fun thing to end
Yeah.
on because that is where we're all
We're all headed there.
headed there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see it at
I
a
know.
depth that nobody's ever thought of before.
No, I know.
And the incredible thing about that is that it's like you're sitting in a room with somebody and you're having a strategy discussion.
exactly.
Because once you pose the initial thought process, then it's ready to take the next, drill down the next level. So
Yeah.
you could say, okay, they gave you this. Well, what about in this scenario?
Yeah.
Or think in terms of this. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, here comes a whole nother, I've used it for job descriptions. I've used it in strategy thoughts. I think it's going to be.
And when you just need an idea.
Yeah.
You know, it can even be used creatively. So it doesn't have to just be analytical or business
Right.
or things like that. But you could actually massage the ideas that you have on creative things. Now,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that it's not real creative. You know, it can get a little bit staunchy if you try to create something through AI that you want on a creative level. But it can give you ideas.
Yeah.
And it can help you ignite. So that's kind of where I'm at right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
In a nutshell, is I'm looking for something to spark me and to use my ideas to create something fabulous or some things that are fabulous. And this is the time I'm going to take to do that.
Great.
And we may see you on the other side in the next studio. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, you know, you may be coming back as a guest to Real Estate Insights.
That's right, I
Which I
hope
went
so.
to chat to get that name. So
I love it. I love it. My
So-
friend, thank you for the years.
Thank you.
And,
My gosh.
Real News Communications Network, Trey, our producer, Jeff Crilly, the owner, and Josh, the manager around here, and the whole team have been fabulous. And I think you need to get on the podcast train if you're so inclined.
Agreed.
And if you are, this is the best setup and the best idea for doing that
absolutely.
for the money.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no question.
Yeah.
So I hope you give them a ring. Give me a ring if you have any marketing questions. We're all over social media. You won't have any problem finding our videos, finding Mark,
Yeah.
finding me. And just stay tuned to Secured Title of Texas website and to Mark's Tall Texan 65 on Instagram. And he'll be announcing soon his podcast. And as usual, I'm always sharing my marketing expertise on sandyhibbardcreative.com. So be well. We love you.
And ciao, as we say.
Ciao, as we say. Bye.
Bye-bye.